start and kind of get a basis definition of it, and this is the exact same way that we should be able to decode any unfamiliar words that we may see when we are reading something. So your topic today is prefixes, roots, and suffixes. At this time, our book should be headed up so that we can take notes. Once again, we are on a short bell today, so I am going to try to move very quickly through our PowerPoint so that we can get into our worksheet. Good. So the first thing we are going to learn about is what is a prefix. Can I have a reader for my what is a prefix class?
I can read.
Go ahead, Tiana.
What is a prefix? A prefix is a letter or sequence of letters attached to the beginning of a word, group, or phrase to change its meaning.
Good. So for our notes, we are not going to write the entire definition. We are going to summarize, and we will write a prefix is attached to the beginning to change the meaning of a word. A prefix is attached to the beginning to change the meaning of a word. One more time, a prefix is attached to the beginning to change the meaning of a word. Moving on in the next 15 seconds. Good. Now Ms. Smith is going to project some examples of prefixes. We are going to write all of them since they are not long. There are 5 of them on the board. This, which we found in our introductory activity, we have not, or to do the opposite of. Re, we have again. Miss, we have wrong. Post means after, and pre means before. Is there anyone that can give me some examples of words that they know with these prefixes?
On. Like begin.
No, an example of words that you know that have the same prefixes that are on the board.
Disregard.
Disregard, good. Disappointment, good. One more time. Misunderstanding, good. Redo. Pre-game.
Rewrite.
Rewrite, good. Post-game. Postpone, good. All of those are great examples of these prefixes being used. Moving on in the next 15 seconds. So now that we've learned about our prefixes, we are now going to learn about our suffixes. Now for our suffix definition, we have way less to write since we already have a definition for our prefixes. So for our suffix, we are only going to write added to the end of a word. We already know that it is added to change a meaning, so we do not have to write that again. Once again, we are only going to write suffix changes. A suffix is added to the end of a word. A suffix is added to the end of a word. for. So we have able or able, which means able to or capable of. Full, which means full of. Or, which means one who does something. Or less, which means without. Do we know any words that we use in everyday life that have these suffixes attached? Faithful, good. Fruitful, meaningful, good. So of course meaningful would mean full of meaning, quite simply put. Fruitful would mean full of fruit. Any other words that we know that have these suffixes attached? Not necessarily unless it's already available, good. Priceless, good, without price. Unless we're already like attached, because you can't say on. There's normally a meaning of on. Useless, good, without use. Heartless, without heart. Do we know any for or? One who does something. No? What about editor? One who edits. Collector, good. One who collects. Ambassador. Predictor, one who predicts. Good job. Good. We'll be moving on from this slide in the next 10 seconds. Good. And finally, we are going to learn about our root words. Now, our root words, we're only writing the definition that's on the top. These are the words that are left when you take away your prefixes and suffixes. So, for example, editor, when we take away our suffix, the root word is edit. On the board, there's also an example of the word cycle. You can add prefixes like bi to that word for bicycle. You can add tri to that word for tricycle. But once you take away bi or tri, you get just cycle, which is our root word. Another example present for suffix is examining. ing, our suffix would mean the act of doing something. When you take away that ing, you get your root word examine. However, on the board for examining, we see that examining is spelled differently than just the root word. For examining, we drop the e that is found in the root word, but when it comes to us taking away the ing, we have to add the e back. So don't hesitate